Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Down. 8 lead. Let's go, check. General West. Switch.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, box drop. 40's mark. Let's go. Defense.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in Week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go. Go to 54. Tighten up. Watch the twist. Gun. Motion. Let's go.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Here we go, 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That is caught by Cohen. 22 yards there, a 1st down. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On the return is Cohen. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Mike 53. Watch the out. Watch the out. Check 13. Check 13. Here we go. Going to 54. Going to 54. Wide 8. Here we go. Going to 53. Check. Here we go. Going to 54. Wide 8.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Say.
First down, a run with Cohen. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, Swift, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long.
Here we go, 47. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm coming up.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Elliott on first down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Here comes the Bears punter now. as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here comes Cohen. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 37. Then we're going to 53. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Whip. Watch the whip. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is brought in at the 21. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Bears take over. Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And that is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Browns in that game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. We're scoreless after 1. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. Running with Elliott. And he's he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. And they're going to get him. They bring him down with a sack back at the 16-yard line.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
So typically you'd say nice job defensively to force a decision on fourth down, but they've already gone for it once and converted, so you better make sure your defense stays out on the field and is alert.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Whoa, get your swerve on. Let's go, let's go. Have you got Mike? Hey, kill. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
53 is the mic. 53, check 53. Here we go, 47. Check, Hayward. Check, 53.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
53 is the mic. Y'all not ready. Let's go. Have we got Mike, number 53? 26.
First down, Prescott. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Rush in. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Here we go. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
How did he do that? How did he this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why I ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Ready, set.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd and 11. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Hey, kill. 47.
On play action, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. They're in the second quarter at Heinz Field. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So coming up empty here to start the 3rd quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, but it'll be 2nd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 39. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still a 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, team 6. Here we go.
2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. In for the score as the Bears push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this second half. Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2.
Check out route. Protein spill. Fight.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. Oh, Prescott stripped, and this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, D. Here we go, 46. Then we're going to 53. Hot 7, hot 7. Guys, moving. He's moving, boys. He's moving. Hot 64. Wait. Mike, 53. 53. Here we go, 47. It's been a long day for you. Here we go. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Echo, echo. 26.
Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Set up. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie. General West. Hey, Haywood. Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He'll drop to throw. And going deep for Hill. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears turn that reception into a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Play action now. Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. 25 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
Bravo!
They'll try and start this drive in the air, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They come out here in the eye. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll look to throw here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Another shot from the one on second and goal. Second and one. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox able to finally wrestle him down for what's just going to be a huge loss, and it takes us to fourth down as well. And this one is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
From the 38, Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Again, it's Elliott. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So first and 10 now from the 30. On the counter, Elliott. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. His career rushing numbers just continue to rise with that last carry. He surpasses 12,280 yards and also surpasses Marshall Faulk. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The Bears on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So out comes the field goal team once more. It's a 39-yard attempt right hash. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That one is caught by Hunt. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
A gain of 3, second down. With that run, double check my math, yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry's.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 17. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
64, weak, hit it.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go to Elliott again. He's got a first down past the 30. And finally down at the 41-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Elliott. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And able to work his way down to the 16. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready?
They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott, and he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were...
Yeah, offense was in fine form.